One summer evening, a small girl discovered a dark secret hidden within an abandoned house. For years, the city's residents had stayed away from the property, telling tales of eerie noises and ghostly apparitions. But the girl was not afraid. She was curious, and she wanted to know what was inside. As she cautiously entered the musty old building, she felt a sudden chill run down her spine. The hair on the back of her neck stood up as she realized she was not alone. Something was watching her from the shadows. The girl continued forward, her heart pounding in her chest. She heard the sound of something following her, its footsteps echoing in the silence. Suddenly, she was grabbed from behind and dragged into the darkness. She awoke some time later, disoriented and confused. She was lying on a cold concrete floor in a dimly lit room. And she was not alone. Sitting in a chair across from her was a figure shrouded in darkness, its face hidden by a shadowed hood. The girl tried to scream, but no sound would come out. She tried to move, but she couldn't. She was paralyzed with fear. The figure spoke then, its voice low and menacing. It told her that she had been chosen. Chosen to be the mother of a new race of beings that would one day rule the world. The girl struggled against her bindings, but it was no use. There was nothing she could do but listen as the creature described in chilling detail the plans it had for her. Once upon a time, there was an adult who loved coloring in adult coloring books. They found the activity to be very therapeutic and enjoyed doing it whenever they had some free time. One day, they came across a book called Adult Coloring Books True Horror Stories. Intrigued, they decided to check it out. The book was filled with scary stories that were supposedly based on true events. The adults started to read some of the stories and found them to be very creepy. They were so creepy that the adults couldn't stop reading them. Eventually, the adult finished the book and was left feeling scared and disturbed. They realized that coloring in the book had not been as therapeutic as they thought it would be. In fact, it had left them feeling scared and uneasy. If you're thinking about coloring adult coloring books, true horror stories, beware. The stories in the book are truly horrifying and will leave you feeling scared long after you've finished reading them. A long time ago, before the advent of modern medicine, people used to believe that coloring in pictures could relieve stress and anxiety. This belief was based on the theory that when you focused on creating something beautiful, your mind would be occupied and unable to focus on negative thoughts. While there is no scientific evidence to support this theory, many people still swear by the power of adult coloring books. If you're feeling stressed out or anxious, why not give it a try? You might be surprised at how well it works. One summer evening, a small group of children were playing in a park near their homes. It was getting late and they knew they should go home, but they didn't want to stop having fun just yet. So, they decided to play one more game of hangman. The game started off innocently enough, but soon took a dark turn. The words they were choosing became increasingly macabre, until finally someone suggested they use a real person's name. No one wanted to be the first to offer up a name, so they all agreed that whoever thought of the best name would be the one to choose. After a few minutes of brainstorming, one of the children came up with the perfect name, Rosemary's Baby. Everyone agreed that it was the perfect choice, and so the game began. But as soon as the first letter was guessed, something strange happened. The wind picked up and began howling through the trees. The leaves rustled and the branches creaked ominously. The children began to feel uneasy, but they didn't want to stop playing now that they had finally come up with a good game. As the game continued, the wind grew stronger and eerier sounds began emanating from the forest surrounding them. The children were starting to get scared, but they still didn't want to give up on the game. Then, when only a few letters remained unguessed, they heard a blood-curdling scream coming from deep within the woods. That was enough for the children. They dropped everything and ran for home as fast as they could. They never spoke of that game again, and none of them ever went back to that park at night.